Hi everyone, welcome on the Odoo Insider Show. As usual, every Thursday we have that moment together, just 2 hours of pure technical functional questions and things that I will try to answer depending on what you give me as questions. I see we already have 2, quite nice. One on LinkedIn, one on Twitch. I will start with those ones. In the meantime, I don't have any news to share with you. I think in the next few weeks it will be me only. Maybe I will try to get Emanuele again for another tech session, because I think those are great. The ones I couldn't host myself, I'm even having a look at it myself so that I keep learning. Also having the guys in the background telling me about what they do, the wonders that they have in JavaScript. I watched the one with Amin Farah, was quite good as well. So here we'll start maybe with the one of Xavier Bouleri on LinkedIn, asking us about, the following. Hello Antoine, I would like to insert an attachment under conditions when sending a quote by email. In France, for construction companies, and it's the same in Belgium, I think, if it's a renovation, the VAT is 10%, otherwise if it's new, it's 20% VAT. When it's 10% VAT, we need to send another document to the customer, so when the VAT on the quote is 10, I would like to put this attachment in the email, otherwise I do not want it. Thank you. I will try to have a look at this. I have at least a first thing that I can say. So back on my very old database now, well, it's still a version 18, but I've made so many changes on this one that at some point I'm pretty sure I will get some alerts left, right, center to tell me, hey, in fact, you did too many modifications and I don't remember them all the time. So we'll see. So what it says here, I will come back maybe, or I can say on the French company. So we have by default, you see that's what you are talking about, Xavier. You have a default taxes of 20%. The first thing I need to say is that usually, even for the same client, you can have 2 different regimes. Maybe you are going to do some new construction work and some renovation, in which case 2 different quotes for the same client that I will use here, client number 3. You could have 2 different sale orders. So it's not like client-based, that kind of thing is more like a quote or sales document-based. So the first thing that you can use, in order to select the taxes properly, is don't forget that you have a fiscal position thing here. And that by default, if you use domestic France, what it's going to do is that it's going to simply select the taxes amount that you have on the product. I know it's not your question exactly, Xavier, but I'm insisting on this one because some people don't realize this. Even for the same country, if you have different, you can have different fiscal positions for the same type of clients. So here, I will have a look at what means domestic France. It means in terms of tax mapping that there is nothing. So this one is the simple, regular, let's say, fiscal position that you will apply by default because there is no mapping. I will just show you quickly the other mappings that we can have in terms of fiscal positions. Let's imagine that I'm in France. Remember, I'm a French company here, and I'm going to sell in terms of B2B to other companies in Europe. And in Europe, we will have different settings saying that if the product by default would be 20% taxes in France, then as we are with this fiscal position, we are going to swap the tax between 20% and 0%. So that case, I will go back on the sale order and show you, illustrate what it would do. We are going to swap the taxes. And here we could have kind of a way of doing that with fiscal positions. And I could have another one that is domestic France renovation. It would be something specific, and I would say then in fact my 20% I should go to a 10%, and maybe I have different 20% taxes. That was for the purchases. I'm more interested in the sales one, so maybe I can go do search more than just filter on the sales one. Yeah, that is better because then I see. I will even remove that one. I'm going to mostly focus on the sales side, so I will keep sale right there, and the other 20% must be this one. Yeah, we have goods and services, and in that case there as well I should remain in sales. Oops, sale, and I'm going to say that's fun. Here the first thing I would see as a let's call it problem is that I would need to create a 10% tax also on the sales side, because here I see that I only have 0 and 20. So apparently it's funny to have 10% on the purchase side and not having on the sales. So I could have a look at that first. and say, okay, apparently a tax is missing. It could be that because of my lack of knowledge in French taxes, I would misconfigure it. But one first approach that I will use, I'm checking a 10%, maybe it's just hidden. Purchase, yeah, in fact, that's it. In fact, it exists, but as we know, it's not always, Odoo is not going to activate all the taxes because some of them are really used only in specific cases. So if you have the same example as the one I have, you go in the configuration, fiscal positions, you check if the taxes, well, if everything is aligned, and here we see that we have a tax that is not activated. So I will activate both here, those ones included or not, for services and for goods. And what I will do is that I will go back to my fiscal positions and reuse my renovation here, tax to apply 10%. And yeah, if on one side it's excluded, keep excluded on the other side so that you don't have a problem with computation. But saying this, from the question of Xavier, I have the feeling that usually it will be more like not a B2B thing, but more a B2C. So if you are in a B2C business, most of the time your initial tax will be initial tax will be defined as included in the price. So try to have the same setting on both sides. That's what I mean. So Inc would be included here, so that's not the one I want. G for the goods, so that's the one I will use. And here I'm going to use 10% as well. So for services, but not the one that is included. So I suppose that would be this one for sales. Yes, let's do that. Let's have a look. I'm saving this, so I have my fiscal position. I will go back not in the invoicing because already in the sales application I can use that. Going there, that's the sale I was talking about with 20%. I could do, yeah, I will keep it that way. I will duplicate it for the same client. I duplicate it, but this time I know that this one is a different, and it's for renovation. Usually, if I do this and I already have some lines, it's safe to say update taxes so that at least the taxes will be changed. And you see here it's 10% now. That is because, and we see the tax amount, well, the total changed slightly. It's mostly due to the amount, well, just due to the amount. And so if I'm adding a new product like this one, again, you see by default the right amount is selected now that I have the right fiscal position. So those kind of things do work. And then comes the moment where you want to send this by email. What I did on my side is that even before sending it by email, your sale order or your invoice should be properly, containing the proper information related to the taxes or the fiscal position. If you do it with fiscal positions, I wonder if there is a way to maybe change the button so that the button will convey different templates that we load by default. I will re-explain what I'm saying right now. Here, the question of Xavier is, when I'm sending an email, here I didn't configure my document for France, so that's why we have this layout saying, hey, do you want to change the logo and blah, blah, blah. I will continue, just keep it as such. It doesn't matter too much, but you know that every time we have one company, the first time that we send something like this one, it is going to ask us about the layout that we want to use. And here for the email, I'm going to put whatever. It's simply because I have a client. I want to send an email, and the client doesn't have an email, so Odoo is going to tell me, hey, 2 things that you need to do before sending the emails, just guiding us correctly. So that is it. Here we have this one, but what we would like is that eventually we select a different document here, so that we are not going to use this one by default, but we use another one that would maybe have an extra document. First thing that we need to check is, here we have what we call a wizard. That wizard is being opened, and directly we load a template. And usually that must be explained somewhere, which template we use. A good way of thinking around that is the following. If I go in the email templates, right there, and I have a look at the sale orders one. We go in the template apply to, so it means applies to the object sale order, to the type of record sale order. Here we see that we have, that's the one I want to use, is send quotation. But you see, around sale orders, there's not only that send quotation. So somehow, clicking on that button just coming back here, clicking on this one, it turns out that Odoo knows already which template to load. Okay, it's loading this one by default. That is, I think, the quotation one. Yes, it's your quotation, blah, blah. I'm just going in debug mode to see if I have access to a bit more information. If I click on send by email, that's it. Here, the same. And I'm just checking what we have. Yes, you can use another template over there. It's in version 17. You have, I think it's somewhere around here, bottom right. You have the possibility to select another template. Here we see those templates. The one that we have here, you see those are the same that we have here. Cart recovery, cancellation, confirmation done. Cart recovery, cancellation, confirmation done, and then the quotation. So that is where I would be able to change that. And the wish of Xavier would be to use a different template over there. You can create your own and save it, or you can go there and create a new one from scratch. On my side, I will just try to use maybe payment done or one of the other ones that exist so that I don't have to create a new one. But of course, if Xavier wants to send another report, then he would need to use in dynamic reports here another one so that he attaches two reports, two PDFs to send to his client. One with that could be maybe a demand to the client of a proof that is indeed renovating his house, because I think that there's something like that. At least in Belgium, that's how it works. So I would suppose that it is more or less the same, knowing how the laws now are aligned between the countries. Okay, so going back to this, there must be something like a hint for Odoo to open this box and say, yeah, why would we select this one instead of the others? And usually that must be explained somewhere. I'm going to dive into where it could be explained. It may be a bit long, but that will be used for kind of reflection and guiding you on how I find this information. If I can, sometimes I'm struggling a lot. You've seen me sometimes struggling for finding that kind of information, but I think that every time you struggle, you improve the next time you will have those kind of questions. So here, you've seen that when I go in debug mode, you see extra information. I'm checking here if we have something in the context, because sometimes the context we give extra information. We have seen that. I think there is a discussion about the context, if not every week, every 2 weeks, something like this. Here in the context, I don't think I see something related to the notion of the document that I want to send together with my result, but I see a method. The method is action quotation send, and there I'm going to dive a bit in the code in GitHub, so maybe not the enterprise version, and I see this is a bit, you know, the screen is a bit far away, so I need to make that one bigger. So we said action quotation send, quotation, yeah, that's the one. And now GitHub is even helping us doing this in the sales order. It seems to be correct. It's on the right object, you know. Oops, it's on saleorder.py. It's in the sale application, so I think it's correct. So let's go there. It's telling me the following. Opens a wizard to compose an email with relevant mail template loaded by default. And that is maybe something that's sometimes a bit frustrating, is that you will see that the context by default, we select here some default email layout ID, which is there. It will be on the sale order. On the sale order ID, the one that we have, it's a type of comment. And I'm going to check if we have another place where we can find, yes. Yeah. Here it's for the notification, and then we have that email template. And here you see there's a place where if we are in a moment where we only send an email for only one record, which seems to be the case here, that means if we don't receive not a dictionary, an array of different records, we are going not to enter here because it's not a mass mailing. We are going here. We are going to send an email with some information, and then there's that notion of context, and we have hide default template. So if we don't do hide default template, we are going to use this find mail template thing, and that's the mail template that we are going to use. And this one, I guess we are going to see an XML ID pointing to the right email template that we want. I'm just checking that with you together. We have this, and by default we go and we select this one. And that, let's have a look at what is this. There are two ways to do it. Either I start from the record I think it is linked to, or I start from the XML ID and it will point to the record. So I will go here, copying the right hand side, not with the total amount, because you know that in fact Odoo concatenates two fields, but if I want to look for only one, I will go on the right side over there. Going back to my, yes, I need to be in debug mode. I'm going to have a look at the place where we have all those external identifiers loaded. So external identifiers, let's go there. Typing this, and you see, I will just select the first one. The module would be sale in that case, but here what matters is the external identifier. I go here, cool, I have one. And you see that we know what it is. It is leading me to the exact same template I was having a look at, which is the way, which is the one that is opened here. So everything seems to fall in order. I have a button that is launching some kind of action. In that action, I find an XML ID. That XML ID is the one I use. But we have some place where we can, let's go back where we were. We have something where we can say hide default template. So we'd have to say hide default template true. But then I don't see a place where we would be giving the template ourselves. So is it possible to do that? Is there another place where we are going to improve the template? Not really. So what bothers me here is that without the find mail template over there, so meaning without changing a bit of code here, it's going to be tough trying to change that notion of template, because although we find a place to avoid the selection of the default template, we don't explain the one that we want. I'm checking that. I'm going to use this to see the difference that it makes in terms of this button and the wizard that is loaded. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going there. I will change the view so that I change the context of the button. The button is located in a form view. So I go here. I will make that bigger as well. Maybe not too big, but we'll see. And there's something like this, send by email or something like this, action quotation sent. Yeah, we have to, so maybe I will have to change both. I think that was a check document layout that I could see. So I will add this new thing in the context. Oops, here. All right. And I will say true, and we'll see if it accepts it. Okay, going back there. I will have to reload my screen, and we'll see by hovering the button, do we have the context? The context was not changed, so maybe it's not the right button that I changed. So that should be a good guide for me. I will change both so that it will be a bit easier. I think it's correct. And the action quotation sent, yeah. So let's go there. This one is the one I just added. That's correct. Yes, I'm in the context. Let's change the other one. Hopefully that's one of those two. It could be that I have inherited views that are going to overload or change a button. It's incorrect. Change the button itself. So it could be that what I'm doing here is correct, but that I have, I have another view that is overwriting on the changes that I'm bringing right now. So it could be many things that don't go well, but that's why I'm checking bits by bits together with you. Here it's still a matter of context, so maybe that's it. I'm going to keep this one open, but because sometimes it's better not to go there, but simply go in the views and perform the same thing, but the navigation is a bit better. So I will try to find action quotation send. See if there's another place where we use that. Yeah, here abandoned cart. Would that be the one? We have something here with action also, but we don't change the context over there. So I'm a bit astonished that the other one is not giving me anything else. Then but we have two above. Okay, all right. Maybe you realized it at the same time I was doing this, and I didn't pay attention. So I saved it on my other screen. Let's try it again. Okay, there it is. We see it's at the end. Doing that, let's see. Yes, and you see the difference. Now I don't have any template that is loaded. So the first step, if we cannot go further than this, Xavier, at least here it means for your client or for your colleagues that this would be up to them to select, and they will have to select the correct one. If we want to automate that, but still go through the wizard, I'm thinking about how we could automate this further. We could have two different buttons that would select automatically the right template, but then we don't go through the action quotation send. That would be a first one that we can try. There's also the possibility, I think, of doing the following, but that is very, very direct. I'm going to try it together with you. It would be to use more like server actions. Server actions like here. I'm creating a new server actions. It's send email renovation, or maybe I should say send quote renovation. And there I'm going to use also another model, the same model, but this time I'm going to use send email. And there I choose a template. And for the renovation, I was telling you that I'm going to use another one that is not send quotation. And I can do this, payment done. I create a new contextual action. This one means that now I have this that is available in send quote renovation right here. And doing this, you don't go through a wizard. It's doing it for you, and you see it's sending the information there. So it's faster, you don't go through this, but then you don't have the opportunity to add some extra text if you want. So that would be a possibility. You use two buttons, and we could even go maybe through some code execution to have a if else on the record, if record.fiscal position ID is the ID number, maybe 4, that would be renovation. I don't know if it's 4. Then you send one email, or then you send the other. That could be another possibility, involving a bit of code, so I don't know if you feel comfortable with that. It would be a bit longer. But otherwise, this one could work, but it's not automated. It's just allowing you to have two buttons instead of one. Just checking a final time if there's a way it could be improved just with this, with the context, but I don't think so. Because here you see you have the default template ID. Maybe I'm going to try something. In fact, maybe it's stupid, and we can pass the default ID over there. That would be maybe the best solution. I'm thinking at the same time that I'm doing it. So we'll see. It was action quotation send again. So the first one is obviously based on my previous test, one of those two here. And I'm going to do, instead of loading the default template, but then if I don't load the default template, it doesn't go there, so it's not going to load the context, which is not going to help me because the context is going to be used, but I will try both. Do we have something like document layout? I'm checking if really we have another place that we can use, because here we force the context to be updated, but I think that if I'm giving it, it should be all right as well. We are going to try that. I'm not sure, but let's try it. I'm going to say default template ID and give the template ID that we want, and that template ID, then in order to find it, we are going here in the email template, and I'm going to give an ID that is around the sale order over there. Up. I will use the payment done or confirmation, but at least not send quotation, and we'll see. And here the ID that we need this time is this one. Let me check, but yeah, I think it's just an ID and not an XML ID that we give. Yes, this is an ID. So the database ID that I want, yeah, here, of course, you don't like it. I will do this. I will copy paste that the same way just below, just to see if this is okay. At least it accepts it as a change. Let's see that. Okay. This time it said orders and not quotation, but it says, I need to check if it's correct or not. Your order amount, while the other one was your quotation, right? Your pro forma invoice or quotation, yeah. Additional documents, do not hesitate to contact us. I need to check if it's, yeah, the document is pretty similar, but I think it's correct because here it's your order. I will change the wording just to check that, your order too. Yeah, then it's, I don't like it too much because it changed the color, so I hope I didn't. Let's try the preview. If I have an error, it means that I changed something I shouldn't. No, it's okay. Let's retry this one. All right, send by email. Yeah, okay, that's good. It loaded the right one. So we can have something where we would have some hide and show button based on the default on the fiscal position, so that you have twice the same button, but one is hidden, one is shown, depending on the value of the fiscal position, so that it is done then automatically. So I will keep this that way. But can we? Yeah, we can put a variable here. Oh, it's okay. I can still keep it that way and do the following. So we must have something like visibility. Yeah, invisible if state is different than draft. Okay, and we are going to say I don't know if we can use different like the whole Python thing. So set different than draft and fiscal position ID different than I need a fiscal position ID. Yeah, I maybe won't go until the complete end of the exercise, but I think you get my point. Now that we could load by changing context the right email template, we can have multiply the amount of button, hide or show based on some conditions. I will reuse this one. So which ID was it? It is 10. You can see it here, but otherwise you can also go there and you see it's 10. And so we could do that. And if the fiscal position is different or is equal to, no, different than 10, we hide. So we could do this. Do we have something like invisible or invoice count? Yeah, that's not the one. So because here the invoice count would be higher than 1. And here we don't have any invoice. So I will save it this way. We are going to try that. And no, it's not. Yes, but maybe that's because no, my condition is not correct. But the goal would be that here, if I change this, the button that is shown here switches to the other one. You get the point. I won't continue this one because I think it's already like something like more than 20 minutes on this example alone. But you get the point. You can have a look at the code to find the template that is loaded, switch the button and use the context to change that. And there was also the additional fiscal position mentioned there. It's not the only solution. That's a solution that works well on the SaaS. Sorry, that works well on the SaaS because everything I could do it through the interface. My pick would be even different than that. It would be because then it's just a few if statements over there, and it's nicer because it doesn't rely on some IDs that you forced in a server action. It would be just change the find mail template, and you have there something to do based on the fiscal position value, and that is way better. I would prefer that because then it can work on several databases because you will rely on XML ID and not an ID. Lots of benefits to do that, but I know that this one would mean Odoo SH or local environment, which means higher cost. So it always depends. If that's the only thing that we need to change for our client, let's say, okay, we go on the SaaS, we do it quick, not dirty, but quicker on the SaaS. Otherwise, we go on Odoo SH and we just fix that line. It's just like 3 lines of code, so it's not an extra cost in terms of development, but that is that would be, to my opinion, and I'm not a developer, as you know, but the developers would say, yeah, the correct way, it's not correct, but the nicest way to do that would be certainly improving the find mail template. I wouldn't be surprised that maybe we have a few other places where we change that. I can have a look at this. So to see if there's a place in Odoo that we inherit that find mail template just to change, not here, not there. I just want to make an extra test. I'm very sorry, but sometimes it's just for not my understanding, but know if some people did it. I will have a look at the OCA and see if that's what they've done on some sale changes. So that must be in sale workflow, I think. Let's check that. I'm curious about if they changed that at some point. No, but maybe that find mail template is something that didn't exist before. So as they're not always having the modules all migrated for the version 18 like we do, that could be the reason why. But I was curious about this one. Just another check here, but I don't think it would be located in the promotion. Yeah, no, that's not exactly a valid test, but you get my point, I believe. Okay, I'm going to switch from LinkedIn to Twitch because there was another question faster to answer to this one from Ilgar Alizada. Not the first time that you come to the show. Thanks a lot for being a returning viewer. Hello, Antoine. How can I make Odoo localization with Odoo Studio only for Odoo Online and apply this localization to all my clients? There are two ways you can do that, but I think that we touched the topic several times, like 2 months ago. The issue with that is that it won't be same story as what we had here with the email. It won't be perfect. What you can do, and maybe it's now different with Odoo 18, when you create something in terms of records in Odoo, you know that you can export it manually. I'm going to take the example here of going to the accounting. If you change the chart of accounts, you can select them, go there, export, and you export everything you need so that you re-import the same CSV for your next client. Another possibility, but I don't think that you have access to this without asking us, it is the following. When you go on my databases on the SaaS, there's a cool feature for the fiduciaries that we have that allow you to create, yeah, it's in French, sorry, I'm going to change that again, that allow you to create a template. But I think that in order to be able to do that, I need to be a fiduciary, marked as a fiduciary company, which I'm not, because then you can create, you create your first template and you're happy with it. And then from that template, you can duplicate your database. It's an empty one. And it's always a database that you use as a template to create your new database for your client. So the idea would be having a template that only contains the localization that you made so that it works. But I'm worried that you discuss about Studio, because when we talk about localization, usually, then it's a concept that has been fluctuating, but localization is usually a set of data that you need to get started in terms of accounting. It's not related to Studio in terms of new buttons, new PDFs or things like that. So here I would be, it really depends on what you want to accomplish and put inside your localization. Maybe you need a bit of Studio, or you judge that the default way of working should include Studio for your clients. But then if you have Studio, it means that it's not a one-app free environment, which is not an issue. But for everything that is Studio related, in addition to the CSV export that you would have on the localization, you may know that when you have Studio, if you go here, you have the possibility to export the changes that you've made, and then you can, yes, okay, you can click here and decide what we want to export in terms of Studio customization. Apparently here I don't have any, so it's not going to propose me anything. But if you made lots of changes with Studio, that's also where you would go. I'm going to redo that for you. Export. You can click on export or configure what you want to export here, and that's it. I think that if I go, I can maybe use a demo environment for this. Well, we would already have, I can break things a bit faster, and we would already have maybe some Studio modifications. I'm going there, I'm starting Studio again. And if I click on export and I want to have a look at this, okay, I'm going to create something new, like a new field under contact. All right, let's go in Studio. Let's go in sales and purchase. Put a new date field over there. Whatever the meaning of this, it's really just to create something new. And let's see what we do have here. Going back to the main screen, export. That's fun. I would have expected it to contain already my change that I brought. Let me check again, because I did add a new field. Yes, my new date. All right. I have a vague souvenir that the first time I tested this, Odoo was automatically adding things inside. Maybe we changed the way it works. Let me check again. And maybe read slowly. will be exported, configure data and demo data. Ah yeah, that's for the data and not related to Studio. Okay, I will export that, open this here. So the Studio customization, we are going to see my fields. It is there, it's my field on REST partner, it is the new date. Okay, that is okay. The other one is for the data. So maybe you could use this to export some data and add a new, it would be on the model account. Oops, that you could do maybe, account. And you decide the field that you want to exclude. Okay, we can maybe try this. So it's telling us that we have some records here. We'll make this updatable. Okay, let's try this very naively. I'm not going to remove any other field. I'm going to do that. Okay, we have the account. So going back right there on Studio, I can click on export again. So I expect, yes, I expect my export to be slightly different because now I should have new records, not only the small field that I added, but extra records from my, I don't seem to have them. Let's check. No, that is my view. That's my fields. Okay. Did I miss something? Okay. Or maybe I need to click on export here because it's, yeah, include data. Okay. Okay, so it's a bit, I'm unfamiliar with this, but it is my way of understanding it. Either you go from this place, you click there and you click on export, and there simple export is only Studio modifications without data. If you want to export Studio plus data, you would go there, click on export, and then it says customizations will be exported, include data, include eventually demo data if you want to have manage your type of data different with ones that will be demos, so only installed when you select that you want to include demo data, and the other ones that you want to keep. Second test was correct. Let me check again if I have, again, where was it? It's on my computer. Was it this one? Yeah, where here I have account, and then you have all the XML of all the accounts. So that could be another way of doing Ilgar. Maybe in version 18, that would be the most interface-friendly thing that you can do. Doing the changes that you want in terms of Studio customization, views, fields, buttons, etc. And then you also define the set of data that you would like to export. Granted that you already did the work necessary in terms of records before exporting, of course, so that you can re-import them. And yeah, and if there are fields that you don't, usually fields to exclude, there would be many that you don't need. For accounts, I believe that on the, I don't know many fields that we have here, but maybe half of them could be removed because they are automatically created by Odoo or given default values. So I would have a look at that to be sure that it's not problematic to import it that way. And then from your other database, you would go to there and click on import, and then you select the file that you want to import, and you say if you want to load the demo data or not. That would be how you do that. So that is something that you can test Ilgar. It should be working fine. I see. I will switch now. I will go to YouTube so that we go and we have one question on every platform. Alexander Karg is asking, when I create an invoice, I would like to automatically send the invoice per email to the customer. In addition, I want to attach to the email an Excel sheet in which all the order positions are listed. I don't know what you mean with order position, but I will already answer the first part about the invoice. Knowing that the way you explain it to me is potentially dangerous. I will explain why. In fact, if you are used to the show, you know that one of the things I'm using a lot is, we call it, now it's automation rules. Previous version, it was automated actions. So it's a bit different if you are on version 16 or above. And then here you have lots of things, and I could say, in fact, every time that that I'm creating an invoice, I want to send it an invoice on creation. But I will really do. I'm joking a bit here, but exactly what you said, because you said when I create an invoice, So I will do that. I will do this. Oh, it's not account invoice now, it's account move. Yes. Here, if I really want to do what you said, I would include in terms of filters any type of invoice. But I suppose here that what you mean is only invoices that are customer invoices. But you know that you have different types of moves. And so potentially if you say invoice, it could be customer invoice, customer credit note, vendor bill, and vendor credit note. We can argue about that because it's just wording, but I will just focus on here the customer invoice. I will confirm. You see here there's only one. And the trigger would be what? Would be on save if before the domain, also I'm going to redo it. So we said the type should be customer invoice, and also the ID is not set. Because there's only one moment where the ID is not set. It is when you create something. So you go from a situation where it's a customer invoice, ID is not set, and you go to any other situation that would be anyway a customer invoice. I'm going to add an action, and I'm going to send an email. I'm going to send an email selecting invoice sending. That is straightforward, and I do this. The issue with that is the following. Every time I'm going to create an invoice, I'm sending something. And usually you're not supposed to send an invoice when it is created. You are supposed to send an invoice when it is validated. So that's why I'm going to do here just a quick test. Going to the invoices, create a new one, select a client, add a product, whatever the product, like this one, and I will save it. So you see already it takes quite some time, simply because, in fact, I think, yeah, it sent it. So saving the first time, it's sending the invoice. While if you say, I would like to add a new product because I made a mistake, it's too late, the invoice is sent. It's not technically too late. You can add a new line, but of course, your client already received the document, so it will be making you lose some time because you need to come back to him saying, hey, sorry, the first invoice was incorrect and blah, blah. So here I'm a bit playing with what you said, saying at the creation. So I guess that what you meant is not at the creation, it's more like maybe at the validation, in which case I would say that I would then use a different filter to say it is when the invoice, that is a customer invoice, moves from existing already and be validated that I want to change that. So I'm going to play rather not with the ID and the creation, but with the change of status. I will say that when you are posted, and that before, it's not ID is not set, that I don't care anymore. It's more like after that, and that you are having a status that is draft. So when we go from there to there, then we send the email. In which case, here, every time that I will save, or I will remove this one, I will delete it, that's okay. I will create a new one. I will use the same kind of information that I used earlier. Okay, I'm saving this. And here, no email is sent. That is because it's not matching my automation filter anymore. So that's why it's doing this. But now, if I click on confirm, then it should send it. Yes, then it sent it right here, and it validates the invoice. Just want to check something here. Yeah, at least, although it looks like in the message here, it was sent before the validation, at least I see the document here, it is using a proper number, and it is saying that it is an invoice and not a draft invoice. So that seems to work. That's okay. So that's maybe what you could do in terms of automatic invoice being sent to the customer. But then attached to the email an Excel sheet, then I don't know exactly what you mean with the positions listed. That would be more difficult, because if it's an Excel sheet whose content is dynamic, you will have to go to development, through development. You don't have any other possibility for that, because in the configuration that you have inside, we've seen that before. I will just archive this one because we don't need it really. When you go into up the email templates, if you select the templates, I will use the ones on the invoices, but it doesn't matter too much. It's the same for all the other ones. You have reports here, and the reports, let me check if we could have something like a report that would be some Excel thing. But even if it's Excel, I mean, you still need to define how the cells would be computed and things like that. So that wouldn't be working anyway. So the report that you have available is a subset of the report that you have here, the ones that match the right model. So that's why the 4 that we have here are the 4 that we can find there. I don't remember if you can change. Yeah, you can change to text, but not Excel. Now there are in the community there are a few report XLS or report XLS6 modules that allow you to create reports of type XLS6, but there's anyway code involved, so that would mean a different kind of solution. Circling back to LinkedIn now, there was another question from Jean-Luc Enta. Antoine, how can we check which user archives a product? And in general, how can we activate the tracking field on all the visible fields in a view? Ooh. 2 different questions. First one is, I think, okay. The second one, I don't like it too much. I will tell you why. First one, I don't even know if we can track who archived something. So let me check. Archiving, okay. Okay, it's not there. 2 ways to do that, at least. First one would be go to the code and change one little thing, that is the tracking of the field. I will re-explain what is the tracking. On every field that you have in Odoo, you can say, maybe not on every, but on lots of fields, you can say which ones are the ones that you want to track. I will go back here. So you see here, for example, that is what I mean. The total that I used earlier on my Sailor.22, sorry. The total that I use on my Sailor.22 that we have here, we have that kind of message that is given automatically because we defined that somewhere in the code. And the total field on an invoice, we can have a look so that I give you different ways to see that, one inside Odoo, another one inside the code. If I go in the quotations, I ask for the fields, and I select the total ones. That's the one I'm talking about. And then you see you have enabled order tracking. That means, number 4, it means that we have maybe other fields. If that value is different than 0, we are going to show it in the tracking in the chatter. That's what it means, this one. But it cannot be changed on Odoo, on the SaaS. So if you have no value here on an existing field, you cannot change that. I will show you what's the error that you will get. And I'm sorry for my voice. I'm a bit sick, so that's why I need to clear my throat once in a while. So I'm going there, and you told me about archived on the product. So let's go on the product. Product here. Let's do the same exercise. Go here. Fields. The little thing that you need to know is that the archiving notion is always linked to that active field. So if I click on active, you see here it's 0. I will try to change it and see, hey, can I, here from this view, it's not hidden, right? So I would need to go not from there, but go into the fields, select product template, and ask for active. That's the one. And then from here, even there. Okay, in fact, it's just the field is even now read-only. So that's even better. But that, if I want to change, you see the name is tracking. And you have some fields like those ones. We can find, again, in the code, not in the enterprise version, but in Odoo, in the, I could go faster there, I think, in just accounting. So it's just account. It's in 17, but it's the same in 18, so I can change that as well. If we go here, you have some models. I will go on the account move model again, and that's where I should find something like total. But if I type total or amount total, good, it's the first one it finds. That's good. That's fun, because here it doesn't have any tracking. Then it's maybe not this one that we see. I'm going to check the one that have a tracking, or maybe the tracking is implemented differently for this one, but let's check. Tracking, payment state, source email, move sent, user ID, invoice origin, okay, name, reference date. It's fun that the one about the total is not shown, while it seems to be one that was used. So the move type, okay, if we change it, checked, partner ID, partner bank, Payment reference, currency, amount. Okay, that's maybe the amount untaxed. I need to check because it seems that it's the only amount that matters. Let's have a look on the invoice. Was it the untaxed one? That's maybe that. It says. But I'm stupid. I'm on the invoice while on the other side I was on the sale order. That's simply that. I should rather go. That's why we have something different here. And then sale. It's sometimes sale management that we have this. So it's maybe not the best place I can go just to check this quickly. But you see, I was comparing both. What do we have in terms of tracking, partner, state, price list, up user team. Amount of tax and amount total, so that's the one, and it's number 4. That's the one that we wanted. I could have made my filter being like this. Thanks a lot. I have really, thanks a lot so much. I have really excellent people with me, and sometimes as I have, you can hear my throat being a bit bothering me. I'm brought with coffee to keep me up with the show and a glass of water. Thanks a lot. It's Delphine, by the way, today. It's Arthur is not there, so we have lots of different people that can assist. So thanks a lot, Delphine. So that's it. Continuing a bit with the explanation. Just one moment. Sorry for your ears, guys. So that's why we have this. So if you say, I would like to change that, another possibility would be to go on the product and change this value if you can afford it. It's super, super quick. It's inheriting, creating a new module where you are going to say, I would like to inherit what is a product. And when I'm inheriting, I would like to change that parameter on the field. That is the active field. If I go and have a look, the same kind of thing I can do is go in the product module, and in the models on the template or on the product, it won't change that much because it will be the same. But on product, I think the product inherits product template. Yes, so I think I'm not going to find the active there. I think I need to go on the product template. Yes, over there. So we have something like active field. You need to create to inherit this and change that so that you add the tracking and give a number there. Now that is the solution if you have Odoo SH, because obviously that you cannot change. I was telling you, you cannot change it from the interface, and you cannot change it from any other way than going in the code. Now if you want to use a trick, what we can do is there are several things that we can do. One of which is, I'm not saying it's my favorite, but at least it works. I'm going to use again automation rules. Going there, saying post active message, something like this, and I'm going to do it on the product template again. All right, trigger on save if here it's very simple. It goes from active is set to active. Let me check. Yeah, on save. Active is not set. So that is very good. And here you see there's nothing like, you could add that because it could be maybe a cool addition to have a very, very quick way to do that, which is posting a message and there, or logging a note. We don't have this, so it would be executing code. And then do we have something here? We have some log. That could be possible, and that's it, because I think that there we don't explain how you could have post a message. I think I will try something, but I think that it's purely knowledge based, but I think we have something like message post that exists. So I'm going to have a quick look at this message post. I think that we have something like this here in the mail thread. So create a okay, let's try if that's the one. Discuss channel. Okay, I'm going to have a look at this one because I think that's maybe the one that we need. That's for the if we have a rating. Otherwise, is it just yeah, okay, it's a mail message, all right. And what else? Because I guess that we would give the content somewhere. Is it message post or is it something different? I'm trying to find. It's maybe different. But it's in the rating. Okay, not in the base one that I wanted. Okay, that's maybe why. The controllers, no. No, it's SMS. Okay, in fact, I'm looking for the one on mail thread, the default one. But maybe I should rather look for it manually myself. Yeah, there are lots of places where we use that message post. So I'm rather going to, yes, go there, because that's, I think, where, yes, it's the base place where we define what is a mail thread. And that is it, because I see some arguments that can be used. Yeah, we have some body. I will use that. I will try this one very, very naively. I'm not going to read all of that, which, by the way, is a mistake, because it's always better to really have a look at what is being done. I'm going to do a message post, just purely putting some body thing inside, and let's see what Odoo gives us. So record.message post, and then we say I'm going to give the body some thing like product archived. Just so we will have the date, because message contains the date, but I'm wondering if the user that will be mentioned is the one really archiving. So we are going to test that naively. I'm going to learn as you do. Like right here, so we go on the product again. Okay, we can go there, product. I'm just going to do the same, this product. Maybe I'm going to get an error. Yes, let's try. Okay, archived. Product archived. So that is good. It's made with me, so that seems to work. That's what I said. Yeah, product archived. That's good. That is a good one. At least it works. It's very quick. It's just one line of code. It's just a quick server action. Of course, the best would be eventually to track who is an archiving. That would be a possibility as well. That works. If you want, that's maybe another thing. If you want this to be secret, I have one place where I know that some people wanted to have that secret. You can log as well, so that only the admin will be able to see it. And you could do that and say log. And so you see it's log log message level info. So we could use this. That would work as well, I think. Yeah, let's try. Log. That would be potentially product archived. And we, it's not here, it's there. But there's something that would be missing. I'm not sure if I could do this. I'm never quite sure about the way to do this. I'm going to first iteration like this one, saving. Let's do it again. So an archive, then re-archive. Okay. Then nothing is showing here. That's expected. I just changed it. I'm going to have a look at. Is it logging that we call that now? Yes, there. And you see, here I logged something that is product archived. So instead of having it in the messages visible by everyone, then you would have it here with a message. So you can go, and it's a place that is only available to the admins because it's in settings, technical, database structure, and then we have logging here. And that, you see, it's the only entry that we have. It was generated like today at this time. You can change a bit more information. You've seen that on my side right here. I have level info, but I have several levels I can play with. You could use that as a category of type of logs that you keep. So you see here product archived. Do we know who created that? I need to check that quickly, because here you see we see execution code, line, actions, but we don't know who is the person that did that. Do we have it here? Yes, we don't have the user that did it. So that is maybe problematic, because then you lose that information. But maybe you could play a bit, either with some level, and we say, in fact, the level, it's not info. I'm going to try something, if we can play with the user.name, something like this. I don't know if it works, because it seems like it's a text thing, so I could put potentially anything inside. Let's an archive, let's re-archive. It's not giving me any error, so maybe it's working. Then we have this here, yes. So that you could do that and group per level to see who did what, if it needs to be secret. When can it be handy? It is when people delete things, because then, of course, if they delete, you don't have a chatter to have a look at later. And so, if there's a thing, I don't like to mention it, but it's the kind of thing that happens. Somebody is a bit cheating or using Odoo in ways that he shouldn't, and you want to check if they do something, but without then noticing that you are flagging the thing that they do. And so you could have, let's imagine someone is deleting tasks, someone is deleting timesheets, because you don't want to change the access right. You just want to check if someone is just behaving the way you should. You can create those kind of actions and log it, so that you have the time, you have, but that was created by, in fact, I didn't pay attention to this. That would work as well. Created by is the user ID, instead of having the level. That would have been working better, well, faster. I like the fact that we have the name. Let's imagine that created by, it's a user ID that you want to reuse, or a general user ID. That could be the way you want to have the level here instead. So that will work. That could be a first thing that you do. Yeah, I remember not implementing it, but having a discussion around why that kind of thing exists, and is it something that we can use, and the answer is yes, definitely. Using this login instead of the not the archive, but the message post, that works. You see, every time you see me using a lot of those kind of things, but that's quick. It's just logging things, posting messages. I would say that there are always, in the server action that we have, lots of things that we reuse and that are, I would say, always the same. All right, maybe I can go to another question. So as we did LinkedIn, there's no more question on Twitch. I'm going to switch to YouTube this time, as he's asking us, does Odoo work with Redis cache and how to separate write-read database? It's a good question. That would be more a question for technicians that are way better than me. The one thing I know is that if you use the regular SAS, there's no reasons for us to write on two databases. We write on one database of which we make backups. Then maybe, I don't know if behind that we use some kind of, is it RAID systems for which we duplicate the content of different hard disk drives in the place where we have the data center, that I'm not sure. We use maybe different databases on very, very big projects. I know that I've been hearing stories of even clusters at time, but it's clearly not a standard setup, and I would be really, really astonished that this is needed for your case, because we are talking about a project where you have thousands of users or millions and millions of records in the same place, where you have lots of computations and lots of terabytes of database size. So I would be astonished that it is really needed, but I don't know how technically it works. Is it with Redis cache or some other things that I don't know? On our side, I'm going to give maybe some outdated information, but just to so that we can think about that. I remember that a few years ago, we were using 2 or 3 different application servers of Odoo, but targeting the same database. I would need to check with our guys in the architecture, just if it changed, because Odoo is growing in terms of users. We use Odoo like crazy ones every day. Like every user of Odoo is using Odoo. Like it's our main tool for working. That and the emails. And in addition to this, we receive lots of information from other databases that are linked to ours. We have the website, partners work on the database as well. We have lots of content that is streamed or displayed. So I can imagine that the load on the servers that we have at Odoo is quite heavy. Maybe not the heaviest ones among the clients that we have, but one of the heaviest ones. So having an idea of how this works for us or for ourselves is quite good. But then that is more a question that I'm not even sure that lots of people, technical ones, can give you the exact explanation, because we have different set of people. Some are really good architects, and some others like, and maybe he's one of them, I don't know. But Emanuele, for example, or Amin, are more like people that that know how to create modules in Odoo, that are more on the business logic side and how to change it in Python, and not so much, I think, on the architecture side. Or at least if they are, it's usually because they have knowledge there prior to Odoo, because it's not so much the thing that we do here. Usually we use Odoo in standard on the SAS or on Odoo SH, and that is managed by infrastructure teams. Going back to LinkedIn from Teo Mohamed, hi Antoine, is there a way to track deleted records, including who deleted them and when the deletion occurred? But in fact, that was replied. That's one of the things that we can do with my explanation here with the log. So answering, it was not done on purpose, but the exercise that we had with the previous question on LinkedIn replies this one on this one as well. I must admit there is another one that is called, it's another one that you can test, but it requires Odoo SH. We have usually, and it's maybe also part of the OCA, an audit trail module. That is it the one here? I think so. Lots of downloads free. That's maybe the one. Let's check that. Yeah. Version. We don't have version 18, but when it was started like a long time ago. That is a module that is, I think it's also part of the OCA. Let me check. Because this one allows you more control, and it's more like through the interface that you are going to choose that. It could be wise to have a look at this, but something I should mention also, because one of the questions last time, maybe not here, was asking, I would like to track, basically the thing was, I would like to track everything. And you don't realize that every time you want to track things, you write to your database, so it's taking a lot of effort on your database to do those kind of things. And I think that we had an audit trail thing here. So it's in Open Upgrade that we have this, but it's only on those things OCA, OCB. I would have expected to see it in another place, in fact. Audit trail. I don't know, by the way, what is OCB at the OCA. If you have any idea, you can tell me, but yeah, I don't know in which, maybe it would be server side that they have that. So let's try that at a different place. Because I know that they have some server tools things. Yeah, that's maybe here who have that. Audit log. That's maybe the one. In fact, I was saying audit trail, but it's maybe audit log. Yeah, that's what you would need. You see, when you delete things, you can use this one. So, and I would suggest, I'm pretty sure that's one of the ones that is the most used. So I wouldn't be surprised it's already there. Yes, for version 18. So it's already available. So that you can try. Would be a good point that we try this together on Odoo SH one day when we don't have that many questions. But as we have many, and I'm very glad about that, it leaves me a bit less time to do this. But a good quick test is do this, have a look at the logs that you have, but please don't always go for logging who reads what. Every time that you read, which is an action that doesn't require a lot of effort on the server, you are going to write on the database, and it's really a lot of effort for sometimes not a lot of use of that information, because to me it's not garbage. I understand the need for auditing what is being done, but sometimes we audit wrong and we don't realize the impact of what we want to audit. Okay, another question on Twitch this time from Ilgar again. What is the limit of Odoo Online Custom? We upload files, photos, how much gigabytes we have? I don't think there is any limit. In fact, it's not mentioned anywhere. There must be a practical limit, but I think it should be something like maybe around several hundred gigabytes. I think it's not super handy to do that though. There is now, since version 18, a new thing that I would recommend for large files, because the way we pick our servers, usually you have two types of servers online. I'm recategorizing it like, how can I say that, to the extreme, but you have servers that are really good at computing and other ones that are very good at storing. What we try to do is having servers for which you have, of course, very good performances in terms of computing, so that Odoo reacts fast and so on and so forth, but you also want to have Odoo being able to store files. To such a limit that I think that on Odoo SH, the limit is 1 terabyte. And some could argue 1 terabyte is already a lot. That's okay for some, I'm thinking about one profession in particular, architects, for example, or people that are working with 3D plans of things that are really detailed. Files sometimes can be several gigabytes even. Or you were mentioning in the audio industry or video industry, files are super large. But then you don't store that on Odoo, you store that somewhere else. And in that case, different solutions, your own module to explain how you create attachments in Odoo that are functional links to the other systems. Otherwise, we have since version 18, I think, something that is cloud storage. So you have, I don't have it here. I think you cannot install that from here. It's a bit hidden. You need to go in the apps, and if you type cloud storage, you have it here. And we have a connection to Azure and Google at the moment. But let's install the Google one. If I do this, I will be able, if I configure this correctly, to have Odoo for files that are larger than a certain amount of bytes. I would be able to, and then that's here. Yeah, you say, I would like to store it with Google. I need to give the bucket name and have my account key uploaded. So I need to perform some action on Google so that I create that key file. I put it there, and then every time that I have something that is more than 20 megabytes, it's going to be uploaded on Google Storage. It is still going to be creating, I need to give, of course, the information that that is needed for Odoo. It still need to, we will have attachment, so the same way, it will be not something that you see even, that it is stored in different places. So if I go there and I attach an image over here that would be bigger than this, that would be automatically selected. Okay, it's more than 20 megabytes. Let's send it to Google. That's how it would work. All right. Other question this time on YouTube. Vigilancia is asking, hello Antoine, bien ou quoi? Yes, bien. Thank you for high valuable content. Is there any way to show the remaining saldo of a gift card in the bill or in the customer portal? That's a good question. I'm really bad with loyalty things, so let's try it. It's not even installed. It's one of the very, very important areas where, and there are a lot of those areas, by the way, where I need to improve my knowledge and my skills. So loyalty, I'm going to add that and say sales loyalty. Do we have something like helpdesk website sale loyalty? That would be good. So I'm going to install this one and see if we have the information somewhere. Like, usually to answer that question is two-step. Do we store the information even? And is it stored in such a way that the place it is stored to can be accessed easily from the portal view? That's two different things. And if we say yes to both, there must be a solution. So let's have a look at the loyalty. And so you said it would be, it's not a fidelity card, it's a gift card. It depends how you do that, because here I'm checking, because sure it's not that promo code, it's just a one-off. No, it's not that. Coupon valid for next purchase, which is just one purchase. How did you do that notion of gift card? Is it more that you have kind of a wallet thing, or that you talk about having a product that is, I think, yeah, that is this one. I think that's what you mean, because I don't think we have exactly a loyalty thing that works like this. Discount and loyalty through the POS. But then, okay, let's try it as well. Because there was our POS loyalty thing. Okay, it's there as well. Let's go in the point of sale. Yeah, I will go back to Belgian one because I think that there I already have a, yeah, that's good. Let's go in the settings. Session is open, so I will close it now. So that's maybe what you mean, but I don't, yeah. I will close it first. Okay. It accepted it anyway. Yes, good. So I just want to go to the settings to see if there's something more I need to do. Bar restaurant, not specifically. Difference, tips, large, no. Product, restrict margin cost, cart. Accounting, no. Sales, pricing, promotions, good. All right, but that's the gift card product that we were talking about, right? preparation, inventory. Okay. That may be as simple as that. All right, so I'm going to select a customer. I'm going to add it to client number 3 so that he has. Okay. Let's do that. Add some balance. Payment. Let's pay with card, doesn't mind. All right, we have the customer that is selected. Okay. New order, good. So I have my gift card as a customer now. I suppose that it should be somewhere. Is it in the loyalty as well? Ah, yeah. Here I need to refresh it. Whoop. Yeah. It's not there as loyalty. But, okay, you don't see it over there. Discount and loyalty, but gift card and wallets. Do see how much is remaining. Now we have a gift card that is here. We have the balance, so there is the value. Sorry for this one, I'm slow because I'm discovering at the same time. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to buy a storable product. I'm going to enter the name of the client. And can I pay with enter code? I'm going to try. Can I use that code 12345? Yes, gift card. Okay, that's the one. Ah, I click on discard. Too bad. Okay, 12345. Yeah, all right. I'm paying 0 validate. All right, that is cool. I discover things that I like. I refresh this one. Okay, the balance is here. All right, and so you would like to show this, on the customer portal. Yes, it is doable. The thing that we need to do is that although we have a gift card, a link to the partner from there, do we have the same the other direction? So I need to go on the client. Do we see all the gift card that he has? Loyalty cards, cool. Yes, so there must be a thing where this loyalty card is, okay, maybe it's not stored directly, so I will have a look at the fields that we have available. Because he has several ones, so it depends how you want to show it. Fields. Do we have something like related to loyalty? Yeah, we have the count. All right, it's going to be a bit more difficult, but let's have a look at that. Because then it's loyalty card, it's action view loyalty card. So let's have a look at what it means that. Okay, that is it. It's even Odoo community, so that's good. Okay, there. We are going to open this and partner ID. Okay, so that we have the domain. Okay. We can do that, but it's a bit long for the show because it could be taking me something like 1 hour. How I would do it? It's a pain because I have something that is close to that we did for a client, but of course I cannot show client stuff. If you want it on the portal, let's start with that. You know that the portal, we have a kind of a toolbox of things that you can use for the portal, and the portal is usually here in my account. So the thing that you may want to do, I can maybe start with this. I'm thinking at the same time, I'm very sorry. The best way would be to, same way as you see the sale orders and you have a list, would be to have a button here that would be not sale orders, but that would be loyalty cards or points that you would have there. It's funny that we don't have that, by the way. That could be a nice addition. I'm astonished that we don't have that. Wait a second. Because we have loyalty. I want to check if in the loyalty you have portal stuff or portal loyalty or things like that. Portal, we have something. Okay. Home, portal values, loyalty, wallet. Okay. But we have something. History. That's maybe just because we don't have the link somewhere, or maybe I'm bad and it should be there. It's in the payment method, I don't know. Okay, I will check if the module is installed. Where is that? Or maybe it's just a controller that we use for finding the information, but for which there is no view. Let me check again. Do we render something at the end? Return, rewards, blah, 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 blah. And there's no view that we load. So I don't know where this one is being used. Yeah, we need to give the card and the values. So it was, which card was it? As I was saying, I'm discovering at the same time. So e-wallet and cards. I need to refresh as well. Yeah. So I guess it's ID number 1. Yeah. So let's try this again. Not exactly this way, but rather this way. Do we have a view for that? I don't even know. No, it's not meant to be used that way. Okay, so I need to check when this is selected, because it looks like we have something for that. We have a root, we have a render thing somewhere. Yes. Okay, loyalty card history template. And where do we use that? That's maybe more like that. Okay, it's not there. In the payment method, do we have something like this? Okay, payment method is a card, so no, it's not there. Too bad I didn't scroll down. Timesheets, but orders. Nope. Invoices, connection and security. Nope. And knowledge, no. The information is not there as well. Okay. In the views, portal templates. Where is it located? Site content. Okay, on the site content over there. But I'm stupid. I don't have. It's not a card that is assigned to me. Wait a sec. I'm going to. Can I change the person it is assigned to, just to say that now it's not client tree, but it's Antoine? Yes, let's try this. So would I see it in some way here on the right side? Because sometimes I go a bit too fast, and I would need maybe to take a bit more time to do that properly. But here I see that somehow we inherit the side content thing of the portal, so I was like, maybe it's located over there. Maybe it's also accessories related. I'm going to have a look at side content, loyalty buttons, portal contacts, card post pro. Okay, I'm going to maybe regenerate that a bit better. Generate gift card. Can I do it for just one customer? Okay. Good. Card value valid until no. I'm creating a new one that way just to check if that's better. Maybe I took a shortcut that is making me not able to see it. Does invoice? No, still the same. Or maybe it's at the moment where I'm going to pay that I will be able to see that. Let's try to buy a motorbike. Yeah, that's where you can see it. That's here in the side thing. So you can see it there, but what you would like to do is reuse it. Okay. So the same way it is shown here, you could reuse that, but you would need to create first in my account, if you want a place where they can see it, my loyalty card something. But again, there were a few hints. Maybe it was because I was not with the right person. I'm restarting this again. It was in the history, portal my card history. I can retry this one just to check if that could be working. It's very naive. Huh? I think it was number 2 this time. Do we have the history? Yeah, okay. That would work. But then it means that you need to show the ID of the cards. You have a few more things to get, so that you go here, you create a new button, the same way that we create payment buttons, and it's a portal view, and you have tons of those ones that you can create. You create a new button that would load different history views of the ID that you have, so that you see that kind of information. There you have it, but that's because I know the ID that it is linked to. And there's already a view for that. Can we send a list of different cards? Yeah, okay. You can have several pages in case you have lots of payments made on that card. But it looks like there's not a view with all my loyalty cards. I'm going to start this again. Yeah, no, that doesn't seem to exist. So it's a bit weird that we have the endpoint, but not just what we would need before. That's my take. I hope I'm not too bad on this one. Boss loyalty, boss restaurant. Do we have websites say loyalty? Okay. I usually like to check if we have a module that are prefixed with portal or website portal stuff, so that it's usually also another indicator that the thing is existing with portal views. That's what why I wanted to go there. Here is in the views we have websites say loyalty card views, but that is in the backend. Yes, yes, it's not that. In the controllers, do we have something more? No, I don't think so. Okay, it's a bit weird that we don't have it. That is my point. Checking, yeah. So I don't remember. It was vigilance. Yeah, I would say reuse what we have already here, just to create the same kind of button. And instead of going to here payment method, you load another template that is going to fetch the cards that you have. Potentially through a list, same link that I gave you. Tell me if that is already enough to get you started. It's already quite some work. I was talking about 1 hour, because what is a bit long is I remember that I struggled a bit to add a new button here. So for those kind of things, have a look at what we do in standard on our side and copy. I would say copy paste, understanding how it was made, so that you can add a new extra button here, because there's a matter of things like counters and a few extra options that you have, so that you can show those cards. Mohamed Mudzamil on LinkedIn is asking, can you tell us how to keep a prefix on projects? It's a vague question, because usually project names, they have it depends on where they are created. Giving you an example, do I have project here? Yeah, I will create a new project. Here I can put whatever I want. So if I do this and I create a project, I will call it maybe test LinkedIn. You see, I don't have anything that prevents me from calling it that way without any prior prefix. If I go from the sale order and I click on new, if I go there and I am selling something like of the service type, do I have field service, but that's not exactly what I want. I will create a new product. Designer. We love designer. Create project and project. Okay. Empty project. Well, yeah, we are going to create, or we could make a copy of test LinkedIn. It's going to be prepaid. All right. It's 100 euro per hour. Let's do this. And if I confirm, it creates a project, and the project name you see is this one because it's coming from a sale order. But that is coded in Odoo. It is not something that you can change. And as the name field is editable, there's not much that you can do about that. Eventually, if really what you want to do in terms of project name is very strict, what you could do, no, I wouldn't mess with the name, but maybe what you can do is create a new field. I'm going there in the project. It's something that we did already in the past, I believe. I will create a new thing I will call a reference, because I don't think that we have such a field on project, like reference things or no. I will create a new field. I will just use some chart text. I will call it reference, something like this. Okay, that new text is going to be ref, so that I have a very, very easy technical name, and I'm going to make that read-only. Okay, I make that ref field read-only, and what we can do is, and I keep that way, we can say that we are going to use the notion of sequences in Odoo. And sequences, you see that we have lots of sequences by default. I'm going to create a new one where where I can define a prefix, and I would say project LinkedIn, and I give a code, and here I will use an underscore because I need to be that thing will be useful later. I will add a prefix and say, okay, it's proj slash suffix. Let's not use 1, and sequence size would be 5, and it will be just numbering things. Next number would be 1. Very good. I'm saving this. Now, how can I make use of that sequence? I'm going to say to Odoo, in fact, write into the reference the next sequence number that is available. And for this, I will need to go and create, as usual, maybe the 5th of the day, a new automation rule, auto sequence project name. And we are going to do that on the project object. And we say that when we save, but again, when we save the first time, so when the ID is not set, and that we create something, we are going to say, hey, let's do, not create, sorry, let's execute some code. And there is a, that is because I remember there's something that is called next by code on environment on the object IR sequence, which is the notion of a sequence. And there is the next by code. I don't remember exactly if that's how it should be done. We are going to test that. But then I'm going to write in the record, the current record, that information. That would be, in fact, in the field that is called X Studio ref. I will do that and close this. Oops. Close this. Would that be correct? It looks like, I'm not sure about that. I'm going to have a look. I wonder if it's not prefixed by underscore, that next by code thing. So let's go at the top. And I just want to check if that is working, next by code. Yes, in the sequence. Okay, and it's the sequence code. Let's try it like this, completely naive as usual, and see where we are blocked. It's not always the best way, but let's try. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to create a new project, even a default one, blah, blah. I'm saving. Yes, it's project 001. We did that already in the past on another field. That would be a possibility. I'm not changing the name of the project. I'm just using a reference here so that the name, you don't interfere with the way of working of Odoo, because maybe, I don't know why, a feeling that maybe you would create a reference here that you feel is going to be always the same, and then someone knows how to change it, or there's a process in Odoo that checks the name. I don't know if we have done something like this, but I would say reuse another field if possible. If that is a first thing, you can also improve the display name so that when you look for a project, it shows proj 001 space char or dash and then name of project here. That would work as well. The same way, I don't know, you maybe have noticed that when I go and on a sale order, maybe a quote where I can add a new product here, a storable product here, it's also having a, it's weird, it's not looking for information. I maybe didn't click on add a product or what? Quote, yeah, add a product. That's fun. Product variant, is that what? Yeah, store, yeah, you see, if I had type 1, 2, 3, it finds something not related to the name field of the product, but to something that is more complete, that is default code plus name. And that we could have the same, but it requires a bit of development to say that the display name at some point is this one. That could work, but I wouldn't mess with the name field itself, simply because Odoo is going to bypass what you are going to write. If you need to do that still, and that you insist on that, I would say development. It would be better. Going back to YouTube this time, we have another question, I think, from Alexander Kerg. Can I give each variant of a product 2 or more product pictures? I can easily upload many pictures at once on Odoo and match them with their variant using the SKU. I don't know. Let's try. There's a notion of product carousel first. I'm going to check that. Is it on the sales side that we have this? E-commerce media. Then you can add some media. Then you can upload an image. So if I go to this and I'm selecting a few images here or things like that. Let's open this. All right. Okay, good. And if I select them, add. Okay, I have those media. But what you're telling me is that this, it works fine. But the problem is that it is stored, I believe, it is stored at the product template level and not at a product variant. Okay, so it was designer. Let's have a look here. I will need to create a, my test is not great. I will need to create something that is based on variants by default. I will select t-shirt as usual, track inventory, quantity, yes, sales, but yes, attribute and variants. I will say color, yes, do I have values? No, blue, green, all right, and maybe size, small, medium, large. All right, so that we have. I can go and have a look at the variants. If I, yes, if I have media here, I will do the same. First one for you. Second one for you. No, it seems to work. It's per. Is it correct? So the medium has one. So is it different? Yes, it's not the same image. So it is per. It is per product variant that you have the media. Can you scroll up a little bit so that I can review the question again? It was variant tomorrow product picture. Can I easily upload many pictures at once on Odoo and match them? Okay. I think that what you want is not doing like I do. It is load them all together and then find the right product. Okay. I did that in the past. Let me check, because I wonder if I've, but it's quite complex. I think I struggled doing that. You won't see me doing this because I'm not sure of where I put it, and so it's maybe linked to a client thing, but I think I did that already, and maybe I saved it somewhere. I'm checking this because I have the feeling that I did something like that because it was useful. Last week. There was something like this that I had to do in terms of attachment, so that based on the attachment of the document that we created, based on the name, we would automatically attach it correctly to the right place. So it's not this one. I'm sorry, because I know you don't see my screen moving. It's done on purpose, because I don't know where I put that. No, it's not there. I cannot find it, but I think I will have. No, I have something. Wait. Okay, let me check if there's something that is related to a client. It doesn't look like. And again, I need to see if that's what we want. Product rights. Yes, it was not exactly that, but you can get some inspiration to do this. I'm going to show. All right. Sorry, because it's in GitHub, it's going to be a bit long. I had to do that at some point. But it was, as you can see, folder here means that it is related to a folder in particular in the document management system. And it was related to JPEG, WebP, or yeah, it depends on the format that you would like to allow. Somehow, I'm reading this for you. And here, let me check, because I just want to check something. If yeah, this branch is private, so I will have to share it. I will see if we can put that in Emmanuel's. Otherwise, you go there and you copy, copy it again. The idea was to go to the folder, and if I add a new record to a folder, I'm looking for the name of the record. I'm removing I'm putting everything lower name. I'm removing the extension, and then from the name, I'm going to write something. It will be here. It's very difficult, very different. I'm writing on the main image 1920, which is the field that you have by default over there here. So my point here was to create to batch upload images, and if from the name we can find a match with the name of the product, and it could be based on another field like the barcode or the SKU, then we were automatically adding the thing here over here. That would work. The difference on your side is that if we find a product, then it should, instead of writing on the image, it should create a new record of type. Let me check, because it's not something I use a lot. Do we have project image, something like this? I think there's a place where we have that. It's not images or media. Not sure we have that. The idea would be to create directly from the product variant side. You see here the media that we have, but I don't know exactly if there is another place in Odoo where we have already the possibility to see all these media. I'm checking if there's a link here. If it's not there, maybe in the settings. If not, it would be better to find the model that is behind and try to use this model to find a corresponding product variant and attach the correct the correct image to that media library of that product. Attachment, logging, profiling. I'm checking. It doesn't seem to be here. Okay, I'm just going to check that in the models. It's not there. Models here. Do we have something like media? I don't know the name of the things here. It's image. I think it's product image. I think that's simply that. Yeah, I'm going to. It's weird. It's maybe existing, and I'm blind or stupid or both. But I will just add here a quick new menu just to help me finding it. Product images. I think model. I'm going to use product image. Yes. All right. Putting it there. It would be at the bottom. Let's move it inside the products here. Confirm this one. Close, so that here we have product images. Yes, that's it. Okay, those are the kind of records that we are going to use. And these records, it looks like it's just an image, but in fact it's an image with more than this. There are other fields related to that, among which I'm pretty sure a field that links it to the right product. So in your case, what you will need to do is code. Yeah, that. If you use just the product variant, it will link to the right product template. I'm not 100% sure, but it should be. So there you would use that product variant ID, so that instead you don't write on a product, but you create a new product image record where the product variant ID is the current product that you found above, or the product template that you found above, and the data would be the image in the biggest resolution. That could be working. So I leave you with that. It's quite not complicated, but it's true. It's not something that we have. Just have to check here. You see, yeah, I'm saying if the name is base. So that's a parameter that you would change here, just to say if you want to find it based on the name or the ID, or here, so it's name or ID, or it would be barcode or default code, so that you decide. In fact, that could be written in a better way, of course. But you get the point of how you could do that. That could be done as it's an automated action. That could be done also on the SaaS. That would work. A bit long though, because it depends on how many files you import in one batch. But that could work. Or this was done so that it is done at the moment of the import. But otherwise, what you can do is do it not at the moment of the import, but just later. Select the files in a list in the right folder and do it. Okay, so that was not written live, but it would take me a bit more time because it's always a lot of trial and error and realizing, okay, how is the data model in Odoo behaving? But it could be a good base to achieve what you want. Going back this time to, so that was a question of Alexander Karg. Going back again to LinkedIn for Theo Mohamed, how can I include the client's balance in the inventory report? For instance, we store products for clients and they can retrieve the product partially. I would like the report to display the difference between the quantity received and the quantity delivered. In the inventory report. Let me check that. Because if you tell me about inventory report, what I have is information here, but I'm not sure is that what you mean, or if you talk about you have a delivery for a client and you deliver in two times, and you would like from the first delivery to see how much products you receive on the total amount. In which case, it's a report, it's a PDF report, but not on the inventory, but more on the delivery or reception. And I don't know, because after that you talk about quantity received and delivered. From the meaning of this, I have the feeling that it's not going the reporting here, because then it's not so much about delivery or whatever, it's more like about a stock status. So I have the feeling that what you want is more related to improving the transfer that we have. In France, I wouldn't have that much. I will move to Belgium. Yeah, there we have more. And you would say, okay, I will take one where I have more deliveries, like here. If I only delivered 2 out of 3, I would like to see that. There's maybe a possibility to show that. If we can go back to the quantity that we have on the sale order from here. So let's do that. Let's print this again and see what Odoo is giving us. That's what you have. Ah, yeah. It's fun. That I have added. It's based on the recommendation and discussion that we have internally. That is a bit long, but I added a new, how we call that, a new Chrome extension to see files directly instead of downloading them. And that I don't remember. Okay, it's not exactly what I wanted. And so because of that extension, it's not opening things as I expected. Yeah, I don't remember why it's doing that. Is it the last one here, deliver sleep? Yes, okay, that is correct. And what we would like, but you have that already, ordered, delivered. I need to check if that is correct, and if we have sometimes a different amount. Let me check that. I'm going to create a new sale order. Same client again. Let's have my storable product, and let's deliver to. We confirm this delivery. We have it here. So if I print this one, yeah, okay, all right. In the end, it's making this. Yeah, here it's the delivery slip, so we see the quantity 2 units. That is not exactly what I will send to my client, because there's a difference between the picking operation and the delivery slip that I will send them, but that is for later. So let's imagine I will just have one. I validate this one. Yeah, I will create a back order. I don't know if this one. Here it's in 3 steps, so it's not exactly what I would like to accomplish, because in fact the last one that really matters is the delivery slip of the last step. But I want to check here if it's not already information that we have over here. Okay, that is bothering me more than yeah. So you see delivered, ordered, that you have. So I don't know if that is what you want, but if it is what you want, we already have that information. Ah, okay, you answered. The client comes and say he wants to know his balance, reception minus deliveries. Okay, then I suppose that in that case, it would be on your side. Reception minus deliveries, it's more like on the other side, because reception minus deliveries would be how much your client has in terms of stock location. And then you go in that location, that the location would be assigned to an owner. Then we don't have this here, but I think that there's a module for that. Again, in the inventory. Moving to the settings, we have something like owner, but I don't know if that's where I see consignment. That's good. So that you can link a client to this. And from there, in the locations, you have an owner, and you could say, okay, the owner, here I cannot edit it that way, but when you receive, you could have either a stock location linked to a client, or if not directly the location, in the same location have an owner that you need to define, I think, at the moment of the reception. We can try that with the purchase. I will purchase something. I will create a new thing, client tree. Let's imagine I'm again taking that storable product, 3 quantities. Perfect, I confirm. I'm going to receive them. Can I add an owner here? Assign owner, yes, here, client tree. Okay, I validate that. Yeah, pass. And so now if I go back to my inventory, I have my reporting with the locations, and then I have an owner. And then I can say, okay, I'm going to show to my client and can have a report. Either you create a new report, or you put that in a spreadsheet, you share it with your client, you send CSVs on your side, or you create a new PDF report with the current status, and you would filter, or you would see that per owner. Only the place where is the owner, you would see that information, because it would mean that everything that you receive minus what has been delivered per product would be what you have at the moment in stock, and eventually you would be able to see the history linked to our owner in particular. I'm not sure you can have it per owner there. No, that's maybe not what you would be able to do. But already this, you would have the right information in terms of which client has what in your stock, or at which place in your stock. So the thing that you need is then to have this kind of view, as we were discussing with the card, to show it online, or to have a report around it to send to the client. But the numbers would be computed if you use the notion of owner or the notion of location per client. All right, I'm checking the time. We have a few minutes remaining, something like a small 10 minutes. So I'm going to check and pick wisely the last question. Maybe on YouTube, I see that we have a few more. I see here Artaraya, how to add discount column. Example, discount $5 only in one item purchase. The rest item is normal price. How to make it in Odoo Studio. But you don't need to do that in Studio, because in fact, you have that already in standard. If you go here, so maybe you can explain why you think that it should be Studio related. I'm going to create a new order here. I'm going to add some product again. There must be some discount thing. If it's not there, that's simply because maybe I didn't install that. I don't see any discount. So let's go in the configuration. That's maybe why. Let's check that. Oops. Yes, here you see you have a quick discount stuff. It's funny that I can have price list without discount, by the way. It's not abnormal. It's just showing how we go to the details of those kind of things. Number, let's take the one that I was just editing. Then you have a discount. And if I want to add some amount, there I have it. Here, the only thing, as you can see, you have the discount column, but if I move it to 0, there's also the discount button here, and you say, okay, I will have a fixed amount or a global discount or on all of the lines, and that you can decide as well. Those are two possibilities. If it's line per line, you can go there. Otherwise, you can say, hey, here I would like. And in your case, it's only in one item purchase, so that's where you would go. Now, so if it's just on one line, I would say this here. But it's not a fixed amount, and it's a percentage. So you will have to make some computation just to find if it's a fixed amount you want to find this, because the fixed amount is only on the whole order. Otherwise, let's imagine I have another line here. Yeah, that is something I changed with the product variant. I shouldn't have changed my view so much. Maybe not a different product this time. Okay, if you do this, you have a discount here, not on the other one, and of course, a discount is only going to be applicable for the first line. Rereading your comment, I wonder if you were not also talking about the purchase discount, in which case, another possibility, here we have the same notion, yes, with discount here, and so if I add a vendor, yeah, right there, adding any type of product again, you have a discount working the same way here per line, and you can have a discount here and not in the second line, and that would work as well. Only thing again, it's not a discount with a person. Here it's a percentage. Sorry, while what you wanted is maybe a fixed amount, and that you will have again to make the computation yourself. That would be possible. Kickoff highlights is saying, came in late, can I access video after? Yes, sure. Maybe I should go back there because you know that we have, I changed that. I need to do this order, bring backward. There's the link here. That's the link where we have, you know, all the previous videos and the next ones with the explanations. Maybe here that's the one of today, right? January 9, yeah. So there we are going to post the link as well. We put the one on LinkedIn. I don't know if they can be found back on YouTube, but anyway, LinkedIn is a reliable source to find it. Here it's a thing, it's the link that we share all the time, like TKE. So it's one that is available. I should share it maybe on LinkedIn from time to time, but there you have it. If needed, I can post it on YouTube just before the end of this. Let me check if I have access to this right now, so that you have it. Yeah, I need to sign it to chat, so I'm not signed in YouTube, so I cannot do it. But yeah, you have it in front of you. All right, maybe another question. I see still on YouTube we have another one. Game on Boys. My name is Nitesh. Hi Nitesh. Recently I have started setting using Odoo for my ladies salon. I have some questions related to cash box opening option through the software. How to add the button for cash box? It's a bit too vague because I don't know what you want to accomplish. Is it that you have a point of sale? And here you want to create a new a payment method that would be cash in case, like here, you select a product, when you go to the payment, you have some cash. And that when you validate or that you have some change, let's imagine that I'm not paying the exact amount, but I'm giving, where can I put that? Yeah, I'm giving, let's say, 50 instead. Then you have some change and you click on validate. Maybe you want to send something so that the cash box open. So I don't know if that is what you mean, in which case that is maybe something that we do automatically. I need to check that with the cash box that we recommend. So Odoo post hardware. We have a bit of hardware that we recommend. Like this one. No, it's a touch screen. Do we still have a cash box, by the way? I'm not sure. Barcode scanner, printers, power hubs. Yes, that's the black box. Okay. So I'm not sure about the question, and I'm not sure about the capability of that. But if it's about having a cache box that opens, you need to have a message that is sent to that cache box, so that from the POS, where is it located, it knows that under some conditions there's change to be given, or even, in fact, I'm stupid. Yes, you know it already, but even if you just put the right amount in cash, you anyway need to cash in, and so to put the cash inside the box. So every time it should open, but do we have a button for that? Cash in, cash out would be the same. You would have to open the cash box. Yeah, I see. You say exactly. That would be it, I believe. But I remember, but I'm telling you about several years ago. It has been a long time. I didn't have a proper post setup complete one, but I'm pretty sure we still do it as long as you use the cash box that we recommend. That we still open it, because I remember at the beginning, one of the first iterations of the post that we had, every time that the cash drawer was opening. So I'm pretty sure that this would lead to the opening of the cash drawer if you have the one that we recommend. I think that this is not the documentation, it's just the website. So I'm again, post hardware, because maybe in the documentation it would be better, forum, blah, 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 hardware. Okay, it's always the forum instead of, yeah, it's the same. Okay. I'm going on the documentation. We'll see. Where would that be? POS or hardware? Do we have that hardware? All right, kiosk device. That's for attendance. Okay, marketing service, product, general settings. But then it's in sales, right? Point of sale. Shop features. Do we have some? Usually, I'm checking here. Usually the search is better. I'm going to retry that. Or maybe I should do cache drawer. I'm not even sure it's written that way. Okay, I don't know if... all right, I don't like that. I just try and draw. But there's a page where we have all of that. Connect the screen, printable delivery. Okay, there's something with that. Okay, you will have to check for yourself for this one, but usually it's something that we send as a message when we have this one. Okay, guys, I see it's exactly the time to stop. I don't know if there are lots of questions that were unanswered. I will have a look at that. And again, that list of unanswered questions keeps growing. Thanks a lot for helping us, having every time enough material for the sessions. Definitely, definitely we are going to create a video, but as long as we can keep the live, we keep the live. And if one day we don't have enough people for that day in particular, or if it's a day off, because there are a few public holidays that fall on a Thursday, we are going to reuse those questions. Until then, hopefully, everything will be fine for you, and we see each other next week, same time on this show. Thanks again for your participation and all the questions that you have. Take care. Bye-bye.